make a narrative as if like I'm scared of. I think Devin's a tremendous fighter. Do I think Devin Haney can beat me? Hell no. Hell no.
Yeah.
For me personally, I'm on a different level than everybody.
Yeah.
And when it comes down to boxing, because Devin, he's a boxer.
It's on him. You know what I mean? It's on him. He knows that he's going to get this fade sooner or later. So it's only a matter of time. Obviously, we can't go down. You know, we can't go down to 135. So, you know, he would have to come up. And, you know, he can get this work anytime. He ready.
I see greatness, man. I see greatness. Shakur practically beat him with one hand, man. That jab, man. Most important hand you have, man. You know? And he looked good doing it, sharp. You know what I mean? Distance. He did everything, man.
Shakur Stevenson is said to be taking on Devin Haney at the 140-pound weight class. He has agreed to the rehydration rules and is fully sure that his abilities are better than anyone who steps up against him.
These guys, if y'all want me to come to 147, I'm coming in with rehydration clauses. I don't even do that. Yeah. But why am I going up to these guys' weight classes if I'm not planning on?
Devin Haney is standing firm that the fight with Shakur Stevenson is going to take place. He is showing strong resolve and dedication and making it very clear that he really wants this matchup to happen.
We're still at 135. You can't, you know, say your name without saying Shakur to your female tank, right? It just is what it is. Is that fight going to ever happen? Would it ever happen against you and Shakur?
100%, yeah. I think so. I think it.
You think Shakur will grow into whatever weight you're in?
I mean, we're all of us is close to the same size. You know, we're all growing together. We're all like, you know, getting bigger. Well, so, and it's only so many guys, like y'all said. It's only so many guys that we could make big money and people want to see the fights. Which even though I know that they making new guys, it's guys like Kermel, Abdullah, all these guys want to come up too. So eventually they gonna be there too. But yeah, no, I think that a fight with Shakur is very much possible. We tried.
Shakur Stevenson says he has no fear of Devin Haney, but he thinks Devin's team might wrongly say that Shakur is purposely trying to dodge the fight.
Devin Haney.
Okay.
Devin Haney's probably, to me, I don't think it's hit its point yet, but I think in the next year or two, it'll hit a point where it's like the world is gonna demand, you know what I'm saying? I can see the trajectory feels like it could meet like that.
I would love this fight. But look, you gotta watch what you say with like, and this is not even Devin fault, because Devin is very respectful of my game and I'm respectful of his game. He's a good fighter. But his fans will clip and twist and turn things into something that is not. So I try to be real careful on what I say.
True. This is guy Jay on Twitter. He a big Haney fan. He be always clipping and changing stuff, Jay.
Yeah, they gonna make a narrative as if like I'm scared of. I think Devin's a tremendous fighter. Do I think Devin Haney can beat me? Hell.
Shakur Stevenson feels he is operating at a higher level than anyone else and believes no fighter out there has what it takes to beat him. He also says that Devin does not have the power to knock him out.
He's a fucking stone cold killer who's just gonna go in there and try to knock me the fuck out.
Yeah.
He's gonna try to outbox me. I'm the greatest boxer. How do you... So that's how I feel about the fight.
Yeah.
But it all gotta make sense from a business standpoint. I don't like getting up here and negotiating against myself.
For sure.
But for me, I'm willing to
But do you
make the
see
fight
it as
happen.
it being that could, you know, like we always said, the Four Kings, even though you wasn't a part of it, the whole plot is like at the end of the road, there's gonna be two guys left standing, and that's the big fight. Do you see that as that's potentially what that could be?
I'm a bad motherfucker.
Devin Haney is determined to show what he is really made of. He is looking to take on top fighters like Shakur Stevenson in order to prove his real worth and cement his legacy in the sport.
Fights are not possible. Would you be more inclined just to move up to 140?
Yeah, you know, if I can't get those fights next or it doesn't make sense for it to be next, I'll probably go to 140, test it out, see how I feel at the weight at 140, and then if when the time is right, then, you know, I'll defend my belt at 135. We'll just see, though. I got to go back and talk with the team and see what makes the most sense. That's
Bill Haney says they will not drop down in weight and they will not wait around for anyone. So if a fighter wants to face them, they must come up to the 140-pound division
and become undisputed. Yet they didn't mention the franchise belt, which directly impacted Devin's career early on, right? And it seemed like, I was saying this on my live earlier, you tell me what you think about this, but it seems to me like there's a lot of people that have tried to block y'all ambition, right? Between you signed to the wrong company, you know, Loma not taking the Devin fight, Tio not taking the Devin fight, Rolly saying he just don't want to fight Devin. Do you see that? Like, how do you see that? You know, as far as like, people know you're ambitious, they know you want to be unified, they know you want to be undisputed. So they put all these obstacles up and they make it hard for you to achieve what you're trying to achieve.
Absolutely. I think it's been historic in the way that they've done.
He also adds that the fight can take place whenever the challenger is fully prepared and ready to go.
We must keep our composure and our patience and understand that it's part of the process when you're that good. You know what I mean? We can't say it any other way. You know, they're running out of narratives. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, it's what the people want to see. We don't never say, okay, you know, well, this guy has done something wrong or he did bad business. So, you know, we'll never do it. Obviously, you know, when we go through negotiations and we spend time in there, whether it's put something together for Richard Hitchinson, for him to come back later and to say, you know, yeah, I want that fight. Well, when we were trying to make the fight, we couldn't. You didn't want to negotiate. You went somewhere else. When we were negotiating with Shakur Stevenson, instead of him negotiating with us, he said that he...
Tim Bradley thinks Shakur Stevenson has the ability to reach even greater heights than Terrence Crawford in boxing history. Crawford is without a doubt one of the all-time greats and a champion in 5 different weight classes with an incredible record. But Bradley believes Shakur has the same kind of talent and skill that could take him further. He makes it clear this is not about matching Crawford's number of undisputed titles or moving through many weight divisions. Instead, it is about the big fights that were not available to Crawford because of boxing politics at that time. Bradley says that if someone like Turki Alashik had been active during Crawford's rise to help bring promoters together, then major bouts against fighters like Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, Errol Spence, and Eudenis Ugas could have happened much sooner. Those fights would have made Crawford even more well-known and raised his status in the sport even more.
Or, just like Crawford was with me, Shakur has the ability to pass Terrence Crawford. Listen up. Now, not in the sense of becoming 3-time undisputed and, you know, going up to, you know, that many weight classes. Not from that standpoint. You know, he already has 4 weight classes. Crawford is a 5-weight division champion. But in a sense of having the opportunities that Crawford didn't have. You know, Crawford would have been even bigger than what he is if the politics didn't play into the sport at the time. And now that, you know, you have guys like Turki Alashik that are able to bridge that gap between promoters and, you know.
Keeping that in mind, Shakur is stepping into a time where skilled fighters from 130 to 135 pounds are much easier to get in the ring with. This gives him the chance to take on top-level opponents on a regular basis. Possible opponents for Shakur include Devin Haney, Lamont Roach, Oshaki Foster, Gary Russell Jr., Dalton Smith, Brian Garcia, and several others. Bradley points out that Shakur not only has the ability to compete with these fighters but also the real opportunity to beat them. Doing so would strengthen his legacy and could even make him more significant than Crawford when it comes to overall influence and career accomplishments.
Decline. You know, when Crawford couldn't get those big fights with like Thurman and Danny Garcia and Ugas and, you know, he got it later with Sean Porter, but it was later. But imagine if Crawford was able to have that run and, you know, Errol Spence, Danny Garcia, Ugas, Keith Thurman, you know, the list goes on. If he would have had all those guys on his ledger, imagine how big Crawford would be. He would be even bigger than what he is today. You know, bigger than what he is today. So with that being said, you know, with these fighters hovering around 135, these talented fighters hovering around 135, 130, you know, guys like, you know, O'Shaquie Foster, like I mentioned, going to go up to 135. He's big enough to go.
There is a big hurdle in the way, but when you watch these two fighters go at it, it is clear that unless someone resorts to cheating, they are very unlikely to lose. That being said, Devin Haney fires back at Shakur and Shakur fires right back at Devin. This exchange shows the real dynamic that exists between elite fighters. At first there was a lot of talk about a Four Kings 2.0 group featuring Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez and Gervonta Davis, with people comparing them to the legendary era of Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard and Roberto Duran.
I doubt it. So there's a major obstacle in the way. But nonetheless, as you watch these two fighters fight, you can clearly see, outside of cheating, they're more than likely not going to lose, right? With that said, Devin Haney immediately responds to Shakur. Shakur responds to Devin, right? Again, we had the initial Four Kings. It was Devin, Ryan, Tio, and Tank Davis, right? It was supposed to be the Four Kings 2.0. From the Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard.
It is interesting to note that Wilfred Benitez, who is often left out when people talk about that era, actually beat Roberto Duran. Duran had trouble against several of the original Four Kings. He beat Sugar Ray Leonard only once, got knocked out badly by Hearns, was outclassed by Hagler and also lost to Benitez. Even with those wins, Benitez still does not get much recognition. In a similar way, fighters like Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis and Teofimo Lopez have often overshadowed Shakur Stevenson. But Stevenson has started to break through, especially after he dominated Teofimo Lopez. At the same time, Tank Davis is facing legal problems and seems unwilling to take certain fights, which brings attention to both the struggles and the new opportunities that are now changing the shape of modern boxing.
Four King era, but nobody mentions Wilfred Benitez. And the fact remains is Wilfred Benitez beat Roberto Duran as well. And Roberto Duran is 1-4 against those guys. He beat Sugar Ray Leonard the first time. Outside of that, Roberto Duran, he lost to he quit against Sugar Ray Leonard. He got knocked out brutally by Tommy Hearns. He got outboxed by Marvin Hagler and outclassed by Wilfred Benitez. Right? But he's overshadowing Wilfred Benitez. And I felt like these guys, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Tank, and Tio, overshadowed Shakur Stevenson. And now Shakur Stevenson has shined the light by
Bernie the Boxer gives his take on the Shakur Stevenson versus Devin Haney matchup by pointing out what both fighters have achieved so far. Shakur is now a world champion in 4 weight classes, a 2-time lineal champion and a 2-time Ring Magazine title winner. He also became a 2-time unified champion at 130 pounds by beating tough opponents like Teofimo Lopez, who always brings his best when it matters most.
Into the ring, they talk, have some words, but Shakur Stevenson said, I want to put that same rehydration clause you put on Chris Eubank. Tell me, what did you get out of that moment in the ring?
Well, I heard on the press conference where I think it was his manager said that, that was a clown move, but I think Shakur invited that, I don't even know if I would have said all that about Conor being right then, but I think he really wants that fight. He really wants the money for the fight. He been saying that, and now he came through victorious. I think he really wants that money for that fight. He wants the money.
Devin Haney, on the other hand, is a world champion in 3 weight classes and was also undisputed at one point in his career. Bernie stresses that if Shakur truly wants to fight Devin, he should go ahead and do it without any delay. Taking on Devin while he is in his prime would leave no room for doubt and would make sure Shakur gets full recognition for a huge accomplishment. In Bernie's view, both men are elite, but beating Devin at his best would do even more to lock in Shakur Stevenson's place as one of the top fighters of his time and would prove his skill, resolve, and true championship-level ability.
Fights, accomplishments, because now Shakur is a 4-weight world champion. Devin is a 3-weight world champion. Devin was undisputed, but now Shakur is a 2-time lineal champion. So he's a 2-time Ring Magazine winner. 2-time unified champion. If you want to add the ring, as far as with the WBO, he was unified at 130. So he's a 2-time unified champion, 2-time lineal champion. Beat a guy like Teofimo Lopez, who rises to the occasion. Had a close fight with George Kambosos. You can make a claim that he was fighting out of frustration or out of emotion, you know, and that was it. He was in his prime too, you know. Josh Taylor seemed to be drained at 140, not taking away from Devin, but he was already moving up to 47, they were saying. You know, Lomachenko was a little older. And
Shakur Stevenson recently put on a very strong showing against Teofimo Lopez and Boots Ennis, which makes it clear just how impressive that win really was, especially since Shakur fought with what seemed like only one good hand. His jab, which is the most important punch in boxing, was sharp and on point, and he used it to control the distance with great skill. Every action he took was planned and effective and showed a level of technical control that made Lopez look like he was not at that same level, even though Lopez has plenty of experience and athletic ability. A lot of critics had questioned Shakur's record before and said he had not fought anyone top tier, but against Lopez he proved all of those doubters wrong. From a technical standpoint, Shakur did everything just right. Lopez had a hard time simply because he was in there with Shakur Stevenson. That is all for today's video, so make sure to stay tuned and we will see you in the next one.